What it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that's rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Well, I'm just getting off of work. It is 12:33 a.m. I can't go home and go on to bed because, this is where my second grind comes in, where I'm trying to get off of this workshop. So y'all know I am a YouTuber in my mind. I haven't been monetized yet, but it's coming. It is coming. Glory be to God, and if it is the Lord's will, it's coming this year. Yes. So y'all know y'all was rushing with me to work today. Thank you if you was riding with your girl Cadillac, but I did not get to finish the video that I was reviewing this morning. Let me look because I don't want to mispronounce her name. This is a brand new YouTuber that I found this morning. Yes, and I'm thinking she's going to be my favorite YouTuber for right now, girl. You know how I change YouTubers like I change t-shirts. It was Life with Anthony. First, it was Christina Randall and Ro Clausen. Then it became, who else? Who I started? I know for a while it was Life with Anthony, then Shantia Deja, and Jordan the Chosen One been my last favorite. So now we have Ra'jiva Tha Rulaa. Yes, Ra'jiva Tha Rulaa. Okay, and so we were reviewing her video and where we last left off. If you want to see, I'm going to link her videos, part 1 and part 2, of how she ended up, because of her boyfriend, doing 10 years in prison in Florida DOC, girl. And then I also am going to link part 1 to me reviewing her video, right? And then this is the part 2. So where we left off in part 1, she was saying how the dogs hit on her car. I also need to link that in the description box of my story of the officers claiming that the dogs hit on my car. And it was the reason that I lost my visitations with my husband for like a year. Oh, no, he told me it was 19 months to be exact, but almost 2 years I lost my visits with my husband. You know, I am the OG prison wife, single mother by force, not choice, when my husband was wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced in the state of Florida to 40 years. He is 21 years in on that wrongful conviction. When he left, our daughter was 9 months old. He missed first steps, first word, kindergarten graduation, high school graduation, wasn't nothing there but an empty seat sitting next to us. He's going to miss her if nothing happens, if this channel doesn't jump off, if I don't gain support. He's going to miss her graduation from college next year. He missed the birth of our granddaughter, and he will not be free until our 8-month-old granddaughter is almost 17 years old. And that's justifiable. The alleged crime that he is in prison for, it is not even warranting that amount of time, 40 years. But he didn't even do the alleged crime. So even if he had done the alleged crime, they still over-sentenced him. They sentenced him and threw away the key. Locked him up, threw away the key. So I didn't do my channel because I'm trying to bring attention to his case. But one big hurdle that always is in my way, one big mountain, is because people just refuse to believe that this can happen because they just trust and care so much about their little justice system that they think is really just. Like I tell you, it's like a trap door, and you really don't know what and how it works until you fall through that trap door. It's also like a two-way mirror. It's reflecting back to you justice, but it's something going on behind that mirror. It's a lot of willing and dealing It's a lot of hiding of stuff. It's a lot of alliances type things going on. It's a lot of who gonna turn on who first type thing going on. It's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So it is not cut and dry like you think. And the system stays afloat the way it is because majority don't know how it works until they fall into it. Thank you. And I know it because I was the same way. It wasn't until my husband fell into it that I really knew how this system worked. And even this girl, Ra'jiva Tha Rulaa, is saying the same exact thing. Though she was caught with somebody that was doing something, she still thought that she had rights. We still have constitutional rights that they are not supposed to violate. But you soon find out that they violate you every which way. So let me go on and finish reviewing this video so I can get home, girl. I see everybody walking out the door to work, to go home from work, and I'm ready to go too. So let's finish this video.
What was happening, like, I'm like, did he like almost trip and hit the dog into the car? Like, did he stumble? Did he trip over something? Like, I didn't know what was going on until the dog made a noise because you assaulted him. I would have made a noise too. When the dog made the noise, he stopped and he was like, positive alert. So I was like, positive alert, you just need that dog into the car. So they ended up searching the car. They ended up finding the drugs and they put me in handcuffs. And they put us in the car together. And as I told y'all in the other video, he was like trying to talk to me and stuff. And look, listen, I ain't no gangster. I ain't no queen pin. I ain't none of that. But I am black in America. And I do know that there are cameras and microphones in the back of a police car. Okay? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm not talking to you while we sitting in here. Like,
in that part, she said she's black in America. Now, baby, it's like two sets of laws. We're gonna be honest right now. I'm a black woman, right? But to be honest, I grew up around all white people. I didn't grow up around African Americans. So as we grew up, we seen people as people. I literally did not know that people see me different and see me as a threat until I got 18. Until I turned 18, that's when I realized that people actually see me in a different manner than I thought. I didn't know that I am automatically assumed to be certain things. But it was a rude awakening when at 19, my husband was arrested wrongfully. I soon found out. I even was pulled over for being freaking black. Like, girl, that's a whole nother story. If I could find, girl, no, never mind. It's gonna take me too long to find that link. But if I could find it, I'll link it in there. I was really pulled over. He didn't have no reason to pull me over. And he couldn't even think of a reason to pull me over. Then he gonna claim I was swerving. I was literally on my lunch break. I worked overnight. That's why I was out and about, because we were on lunch looking for something to eat. We used to go to each other's houses to eat. So he claims I was swerving. He pulls me over, and then he says, when the last time you've been to jail? And I'm like, last time? Like, I frequent flyer jail, girl. I don't have a record. I don't have a record. Do all black people supposed to have records? That's just like when the cop claimed, well, not cop, the officer, the prison, I don't know. He was a plainclothes officer, they claim. When they claimed the dogs hit on my car, he assumed I knew what those substances were that he was talking about. Girl, I don't know what substance is from what substance. He kept saying dope. To be honest with you, girl, I had to ask somebody, what is dope? What is considered dope? Because I don't know what dope is. I've never done drugs a day in my life. To be honest with you, I haven't even had a drink. I think I did one little drink when I did a taste testing with Money when we was at the Food and Wine Festival, but I don't drink. I don't smoke, never smoked before a day in my life, never done any type of substance. But he's assuming that I know what he's talking about. Like, girl, where you get that from? All black people know about that? That is very much a stereotype.
We're not having a conversation in here. If you need to communicate with me, you'll have to communicate another way. But back here in this car right here, where we got an officer driving us and we got that camera right there and that mic, no, we not talking here. So he started trying to like lean over to, it's a microphone. Like, you think that microphone ain't strong enough for a whisper? Like, bro, stop talking to me. So he started trying to talk, and I'm like, stop doing that. Like, they put us in this car together for a reason. Like, shut up. So we ended up going to the county jail. I got bonded out. He bonded me out. I sat in jail probably like 26 to 28 hours. Like, it was just a day. And he had the money. My mom had went and got the money wherever it was supposed to be at. And he ended up bonding me out the next day. But he was on a violation of probation. So a VOP, you can't just get out like that. Like, you don't bond out in my county. I don't know how it is.
So that right there is showing you he knew the law. He knew how the system really works, not the way y'all claim y'all think it works. And y'all be wanting to battle this system, girl. Y'all be going tooth and nail for this system, girl. Y'all be wanting to throw hands about this system. Just like I left a message, comment, on Ra'jiva. I'm going to get her name right eventually. The Rulaa, I left a comment on hers talking about how I'm a prison wife for 20-some years. I introduced myself that way. And I know that this can happen because it happened to my husband. And then I also said that my husband was wrongfully convicted. And they also, the person that actually did the alleged crime, which in my husband's case, the alleged crime never happened. It was something else about to take place, that somebody else was committing a whole different crime, a whole different alleged crime. They turned it to what they wanted to turn it to when it was nothing about that whatsoever. That I have to do a whole nother video about. But y'all already know what they got my husband for is an alleged robbery of $60. And the reason I say 80, I mean 60, is because the people that they claim Marcello, my husband, robbed, said they robbed him of $80. Robbed them. It was two people of $80. When Marcello was arrested, Marcello only had 60 on him. The police said that doesn't make sense because y'all said 80, but Marcello only have 60. So he gave their sworn affidavits back to them and have them cross it out and write 60 in so that it can line up. Then in court, they say, yes, the money positively lines up. And the judge asked, so why is it crossed out? The people say, we were so shaken up that we wrote 80 but meant 60. How both so shaken up that they write the wrong thing? No, how about the cops, after searching Marcello, gave the affidavits back to y'all to amend, to change? That's underhanded. That's sneaky. But anyhow, Marcello took a ride from a cousin that picked him up on the way from just like 1 or 2 blocks from convenience store. Marcello walked up to the convenience store. Cousin rides by. He has 2 people in the car. He said, hey, cuz, you want to ride? Okay, yeah, I'll ride. Marcello just took a freaking ride from somebody. Gets in the car. As soon as he gets in the car, the car stopped right by a stop sign, too close to where when Marcello got in the car, they accidentally ran the stop sign. When he ran the stop sign, the cop car said, whoop, whoop, went to pull them over. And instead of the cousin pulling over, he sped off. He went around the block. He left the car in a dead-end cul-de-sac, jumps out the car, and runs. So that means whatever was happening or taking place in that car was already taking place in that car before Marcello even got foot in that car. Marcello literally had just got in that car. And we asked for the surveillance cameras from the 7-Eleven to prove Marcello was just at the freaking 7-Eleven, and they denied him those surveillance tapes. Now, I told you, Marcello was the passenger. His cousin was the driver. Driver jumps out and runs. They never recovered the driver. They claim, even though they had a perimeter set up, they said they had a helicopter in the air. They had police dogs. I don't know. He must have been a track star. How'd he get away from all of that? But they claim he got away, and they never brought him up on charges. So I had said the person that actually committed the alleged crime, which is not even the crime that they're convicting Marcello with, but the alleged instance or whatever was happening. The most that could, this is a whole nother video. Okay, so I can't go too far off. But the alleged crime that was happening is not the one that Marcello is charged with. It was something else happening, which was far less minor than what they charged Marcello with. They let the driver go, his cousin go, and Marcello spent 40 years in prison. Because they claimed to never recover the driver, they threw all the time on Marcello, right? And there's some underhanded reasons of why that happened. But I said that the person who actually committed the alleged crime, they let go, and my husband is wrongfully incarcerated. So, because she was talking about how, she'll get to it. I'm sorry, I'm ahead of schedule. But she was talking about how the people were saying they know she didn't do it. But yet, if she don't cooperate with them, and that's what she was saying, well, how can you do that? If you have the power to let me go, let me go. Why do I have to cooperate with you to be let go? And that's the whole thing. It's really about when a crime happens, they don't drop cases. They should. There's many cases that should be dropped because it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to hold that case together. That case don't hold water, but they still gonna try to prosecute that case. They still gonna try to take that case to trial, to court and all of that stuff. They're gonna try to, really what they want you to do is plea. They're going to put, when anything happens, they're going to put you and whoever, your co-defendant, against each other. You are against the other. They don't care which one really did it. The one who really did it could say that you did it. And if you don't say that they did it first, they're going to set it up to where you did it. And that's what the verdict going to come out. Because that stuff is willing and dealing too. Right? But the person gonna tell me what makes your husband so special that they will wrongfully convict him and let the other person go. What makes him just... And I'm like, you know what? Because of this question, because I mean, I don't mind answering a question, but you can tell the attitude that the person's asking me the question in. Like, I'm just sitting up here lying. I don't have time to just sit and lie. I really don't. There's no gain in this. If Marcello literally did the crime that he was sentenced for, I would have to take several seats because there's no debating it. I couldn't tell you all the things and the holes in the case that I can tell you if he literally really did it. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you all of that. If his rights were not violated, there would be no story for me to tell. So how you going to tell me? I say, you know what? Just from that comment alone, I know that you don't really know how this system works. And leave it at that. So now I'm going to have to make a whole video. Because I'm going to have to get my little notes and write that out. But anyways, let's get back to her. The point, period, in her story, my story, anybody else's story. Our stories are different, but it still relates to the system. We need to know the system and how it really works. Strip back that curtain It's like a person taking a shower and they naked. The justice system is doing like this. Like, oh, you can't see. Oh, I'm bad. Oh, you see all my imperfections. Pull that curtain back. We need to know how it really works. We need to know how many rights we really get. It does depend on your skin color. Black people have a harder time in this justice system. I'm telling you, because off rip, black people are already assumed to be guilty. Why? I don't understand that. I'm black. So does that make me guilty? Guilty of what? What am I guilty of? Just like the man said, last time you been to jail. I ain't never been girl, when? I ain't never been to jail. Like, how you gonna ask me when the last time? Like, why are you assuming I go to jail all the time? Because I'm black. All right, so let's finish this up so I can go home and take my black self to bed.
If you have a violation of probation, you don't get a bond. You have to deal with one of those charges. Like, they have to decide what they're going to do with that violation of probation outside of anything else before they give you a bond. So he had to sit in the county jail. When I got out, I didn't answer no phone calls. I didn't send no mail. I didn't read no mail. Like, I lost all forms of communication. Like, I did not want to talk to this man. I also, in the day I got arrested video, I told y'all about how the drug task force pulled me out the cell and tried to talk to me and get me to tell on him, and told me either we can let you go home with no charges, or you can help us. If you help us, then we can let you go home with no charges. It's like this never happened. But if you don't, we're gonna put you on a ship and sink you with him. And
I tell you,
in the justice system, like, I really ain't have none, but I really lost it. Going through what I went through, because you have the power to let me go or not. Like,
you hear her? She lost faith in it, and that's a shout out to all y'all that just got all this blind faith in this justice system.
You shouldn't have the power to let me go or not to let me go. If I did something wrong, it shouldn't be no one way or the other. It should only be one way. Like, if I was guilty, it shouldn't have been a way that I could go home if I committed a crime. And if I did not.
And that's the point. It is a way. If you committed a crime, to go home. If you have a co-defendant, you could throw it all on them. Throw it all on them, and you can take your ass home, even if you are the one that committed the crime. And that shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't have been a way I can go home or I can go to jail. Like, the fact that you had enough authority to dictate based off of if I did something
and they don't care right or wrong,
like, that just doesn't sit right with me. It shouldn't be where you can manipulate a situation in your favor and my freedom's at stake. Like, I shouldn't have to help you do anything if you know, because they said in the room that they know I had nothing to do with it. They know it was not me. They're not there.
And that too. So even if you didn't want to throw somebody under the bus, when it comes down to it, when it's you against them, and that person know they the one that did the crime, it's some people that'll take their charges, take their time. But there's some people that ain't finna take that time. They're literally gonna throw that time off on you. And that's how most wrongful convictions happen, is because somebody's getting cut a deal. Somebody's getting cut a deal just to tell them what they want to hear. Doesn't matter who's right. Doesn't matter who's wrong. Just like I was trying to tell y'all in the Meg Thee Stallion case. Don't matter. Hold on a second. Don't matter if the evidence lines up. They'll make the evidence line up, just like they made that evidence of the written statement. They made that line up. The police also did more that made it line up. The police changed the scene of the crime in my husband's case. Now, if he's truly doing something wrong. Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to change the location? Why do you need to suppress the surveillance tapes? It doesn't make sense.
They knew he was in the car, and that's why they pulled it over. They didn't know my name. They didn't know who they never seen me a day in their life. They pulled that car over because they knew he was in the car.
Yeah.
My name is nowhere in the discovery. It just shows, like, it says black female was driving when they pulled me over. So they're telling me, like, I know you didn't have anything to do with this, and I know it's not yours. We know whose the drugs is and all this stuff, and we'll let you go if you help us. If you know all of this, I shouldn't have had to lose my freedom. I should not have had to lose my freedom, but that's the way of the system. Like, you give them something to help you out. You got money, you may go home. But if you don't have nothing to give them, she's not lying. Prison. And it shouldn't be like that. She is not lying. The system is here to protect us, to serve us, to make sure that people who commit.
You heard what she said. The system is here to protect and serve us. That's what it is set up for. That is why so many people want to keep it intact. But they don't know that it's not working in the manner that it's supposed to. It's not working to keep us safe. It really ain't. All the people they done locked up, do you feel more safe? I don't. I don't feel no safer. Because for everyone that they locked up that didn't do something, do you know they let many go that have done something? Did you know that part? Many people that should be in prison are let go off of the same type of thing, off of those deals. And I've seen many times on these stories where the person was let go and then they turned around and committed a worse crime. It ain't about keeping us safe. It really ain't.
Crime shouldn't be on the streets. Like, if it's here for the better of society, you should not be able to manipulate it in your favor. And that's what it is. So I lost.
Yep, girl, she telling the truth.
That's the way of the system. Like, you give them something to help you out. You got money, you may go home. But if you don't have nothing to give them, if you don't have no money, you're going to prison. And it shouldn't be like that.
So many poor people end up in prison.
Protect us
simply because they poor.
Make sure that people who commit crime shouldn't be on the streets. Like, if it's here for the better of society, you should not be able to manipulate it in your favor. And that's what it is. So I lost all respect for the way of the system. Like, I still respect the laws of the land because of course I have to, but it just, I lost faith in it. I lost respect in it. And I had no communication with my co-defendant after that. No calls, no texts, no nothing. Like, people would come and be like, oh, you know, try to bring me the phone because he called. Like, anytime somebody brought up
Okay, so to hear the rest of that story, to hear the beginning of the story, guys, go ahead, go to the description box, watch her part 1 and 2. They're really good. And then also watch my part 1 so that you can hear my review of this. I need to go. Everybody gone out of here. I needs to go too. I guess this is upload overnight while I'm asleep. I'm finna go home and finish working on this other channel. Like I said, I'm gonna try to split my channel up. The whole purpose in me wanting to do this channel is to break the story of my husband being wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced, and possibly get him home before, you know, all of his life is gone. He has lost the best part of his life, but before all of his life is gone, at least let him come home to be see his granddaughter grow up. Y'all took away his whole life to raise his daughter, and I had to do it on my own. I had a husband that was going to be here with us, and you just took him away. So at least let her, come home to help her out, get up on her feet now because she has a daughter, and help raise our granddaughter together. Like, it's still time that you can salvage in his life. But every year that goes by that I'm just steady here fighting and pleading for anybody to listen and help, it's just wasted time. Time apart, time that we can't replace. You can't replace none of these days. Any day done wrongfully behind prison, I don't care if you gave him $1,000,000,000,000,000 when he got out. It wasn't worth what you took from him. All right, guys. So I'm going to work on his channel later. If you do follow this story, then once I'm ready to release that channel, I'll let you guys know. And then this channel here will just continue to be my family vlogs and my drawing, because people only want to hear superficial stuff, you know, so I can't blame y'all for that. So I just got to do more work to separate the two. All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac.